Good morning everyone. Today is Sunday, 17th of July. It's now about 11:15. And my next part here, Dublin. Well, today I'm going to go and have a look at Dublin Castle and possibly the sightseeing tour. I know they do cost a bit, but still I think I may as well take advantage of one while I'm here. It's my last full day here in the Republic of Ireland before I head back home tomorrow. It's been a lovely week this week, but still got today and tomorrow to look forward to. So that's one of the dark trains in the Pride livery. It's going to be red hot today. Now to get to the castle I'll have to walk across the Liffey on the south side. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday morning on the River Liffey. I've enjoyed this city. Dublin's been absolutely fab. I definitely recommend you all come over here and have a look. The castle is along the Temple Bar area, and that's where I've got to go. So here is Dublin Castle. I've been in for a have a look around the state apartments. It's a nice little look. If you like your history and all that, definitely come here. But if I'm honest, I did find it a little boring. Not as interesting as the Louvre in Paris, for example. So I'll take a walk along the Temple Bar area again. And the pub has been there since 1840. I think probably the most well known in all of Ireland. So for the time being, just taking a walk around the streets of Dublin. Just coming on to, this is Grafton Street, just coming down here. It's one of the main shopping streets in the city. The other one being on the other side of the Liffey, that is Henry Street. Been for a walk on Grafton Street. I've noticed a lot of green shirts on today. That is because the hurling final is on. Hurling is a traditional Irish sport, and just trying to see who's actually playing. It's actually just check. In the hurling final today, it's actually Limerick or Limerick against Kilkenny that are playing today. So this is Henry Street. Came along the other night, it was quiet because all the shops were shut, but as you can see, it is really, really busy today. There's a famous department shop, Irish one up there, called Arnott's. So down there is Toy Master, throwback to the 90s for me. That's Pennies, which is of course Primark in the Republic of Ireland. Heading back down towards the Spire and the big Arnott's department store. So I'm going to walk back this way. I'm actually going to walk back to the hostel for a bit. Back to my hostel, and while I've got the chance, I'll show you what I've been staying in this week. What these are pods. That's my pod there. So it's a 5-room dormitory, toilet round there with a shower in, There are some more down the corridor. So I've had people from different countries in here this week, but they've been really, really good. I've talked to some of them as well. Only came in here as a last resort because the hotel I was originally booked in they actually cancelled it, shut it down a month ago, and needed it for something else. It's pretty quiet now, a lot have checked out, but there's still some stopping tonight like me. So I'm up in here, so I climb up these ladders and go into that part of there. It's been alright, but it does get really, really warm in one of these, so you have to have a little fan with one of them. I'm just going to rest for a bit before I head back out. Right, it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to do, I think, one more Irish rail ride up to Balbriggan, another little seaside resort. So I'll be going further than Malahide. Yesterday. There's a train at 16:15, so I need to get cracking. Here comes the 16:15. This will be the commuter to Drogheda. This is probably where it's arriving from as well. I think it's a double set train. Which is what we need because it's going to be a busy one. This. Malahide and all that. I think this train would have been late arriving in because it's only got 5 minutes to turn round. So this return I'm doing will be my last Irish rail ride. I've actually been very, very impressed with the trains. There's one of the Dart trains coming in, that will be going to Bray. Considering how popular that and packed that place looked yesterday, I think a lot of people will be travelling down there. the rides I've done north out of Connolly Station. I think that's the fastest I've done so far. I'm just passing the Clots off road. The Dart Depot. One of the newest stations on the network. They've got a lot of new buildings and that they're being built around here. Well, these trains have a bit of a Class 156 Sprinter sound to them. That actually does sound like a 156, but obviously it's not. Mountains down in the distance. Could be the Dublin Mountains actually, I'm not too sure. Now just coming up to Donabate.
Station, Balbriggan.
That train goes on towards Drogheda. This is Balbriggan, and look at this. A station with a sea view. So more like Dawlish and Tidmouth and all that, the English Riviera. Except this time, it's Ireland. I think I'll go down there in a bit and have a look. That is a lovely view what you get from up here. So on a Sunday, it looks like the commuter service runs hourly to Drogheda and hourly to Dublin Connolly from here. It's the 1722 Dublin Connolly. See them trains being busy later, everyone returning from the hurling All-Ireland final in Dublin tonight, which I think that's where it is. Well, those who support Limerick and Kildare and live around these areas. So I've come to another little Irish coastal town. This is Balbriggan, up from Malahide, Skerries, Russian Lusk and Skerries. In the distance, over there, that is actually Northern Ireland, over there in the distance. The Northern Ireland Newcastle is just up there, up the coast. I've seen some lovely Irish beaches and that while I've been over here this week. I'm just going to be here till about 10 past 6, and then I'm going to get the train back down to Dublin at 20 past 6. I've got some time, so I've come a little further away from the beach. Balbriggan beach over there. That's the railway line over there. That down there is Diaries, I think. It's meant to be another nice beach. That the station, there's quite a bit of a waterway when I checked it on the map. Tomorrow night I'll be leaving all this and heading that way, back across the Irish Sea into jolly old England. All that is Northern Ireland up there in the distance. Some nice resorts up Northern Ireland as well. I could maybe check them out another year perhaps if I spend a few nights in Belfast. Right, I'm going to go and catch the 1820 back to Dublin Connolly. It's a good view what you get from the station. I of course used to drive this route when I had Microsoft Train Simulator. I used to be able to buy the Irish Enterprise route, north and south, two separate parts. It was made by Making Tracks at the time, like 2006, 2007, etc. So yeah, it's a nice little beach this. Another one if you want to get away from like Dublin for a bit, come up here, change of atmosphere. That's another one I'd recommend you come up to.
Simplesmente a minha dúvida aqui, nesse momento. Essa loja aqui, como você está vai ganhar multa. Nós não vai ganhar multa.
Iria.
Nós não vai ganhar multa.
Poderia ganhar multa.
Tá, mas quanto que é a multa?
Mas acho que eu acho que Luz, então, a galera Luz eles têm coisa direto. Pegar uma estação pra cá.
Tem bastante controle? Pode usar ou você pode usar?
No ônibus tem bastante. Não bastante, no ônibus tem. Bem embaixo tem bastante coisa.
So leaving Skerries. Now, what I've noticed a lot with Irish rail trains, and I think possibly on Northern Ireland, there's a lot of driver-only operation on this in this country. Perhaps the enterprise train is controlled with train guards, but they haven't actually done any ticket checks at all. They just walk up and down the train. But I think these ones are driver-only operation. So anyway, Sterries, the beach is, you can see it is quite a bit of a walk up that way. But apparently I think it is a nice one as well. Just coming towards Malahide now. So we're about to come onto the Broad Meadow Bridge that collapsed in August 2009. Broad Meadow Viaduct, and would not reopen for at least 3 months later. Must be going slow. Presumably there's a dark train in front that's blocking the line late running.
Next station, Malahide.
It's a bit strange. We've come in on number 2 and the Enterprise train is on number 3. Back in Dublin Connolly, you can see the Enterprise train should have left at 1900 to back to Belfast. Is still there. There has been some trains running late actually. I think there was a broken down Dodds train up at Malahide. It's a commuter train. Right, we'll go back to Drogheda. And that Enterprise train, it's actually it's unusual, I think, to see it go from number 3. Normally that's here in number 2. Back to my hostel. I'm going to finish this bit here because I'm going to have my own little evening out. And tomorrow I fly back to the UK. I actually plan to revisit Heuston for a rematch. And then will I get home? Should do. I'll see you all tomorrow. Good morning. Today is Monday the 18th of July. It's now, I'll check the time, 10:08. And this morning later on tonight I fly back to jolly old England. Been a good time here in Ireland, but it ain't finished yet. Still got till about 6 o'clock before I head off to the airport, so I'm going to do a couple of bits and bobs until then. I think I'm going to have a ride on the Lewis again, and I might have another crack at Heuston Station, a little rematch. I ain't given up yet. Hopefully I should be alright.
Next stop, Heuston. Verkehrsverbund, Heuston.
Right, I'm on at Heuston. Took a bit of time, but thankfully I managed to ask a nice bloke, so hopefully I should be alright now. And he says absolutely fine. I suppose there is the odd staff who will not be nice. But anyway, here's what we got. So these two trains here go to Cork, Galway, and that.
At the right, Oracle and Galway. The train now standing at platform 8 is the 11:25 service to Galway.
So that train's going to Port Leisha. I'll just stop at intermediate stations like Park West, Clontalkin and Adamstown. So this must be the depot where they keep the Irish Rail 2200 trains. You could say they're Irish 220s actually, but well, they do have a similar appearance to a Voyager, but they don't sound like one.
approaching platform 5 is the service from Cork.
In this weather, that's what we all need, a nice cold shower. It's going to get up to about 30 degrees here in Dublin today, but even hotter back in the UK. An hour and a bit, and I think by the looks of it you do need to time it right, because you'll get sometimes where it's busy and sometimes where it's not. This is one of the Irish Rail Mark 4 trains. That'll do the 1300 down to Cork, which is a line I was thinking of doing while I was over here but didn't have the time. Hopefully another year if I come back I'll do the line down towards Limerick and Cork. Now there's another train and another platform going to Westport. That'll go towards Athlone, and that's where the line turns off, heads to Westport, and the other one heads to Galway.
Is the 12:45 service to Westport.
So off to Cork that train goes. It's a 2.5 ride down to the south of Ireland, and that does conclude my Irish Rail train spotting. After the little hiccup here earlier on in the week, last week, finally it's ending on a high. Now it's going to go and chill out in the city before I head up to the airport. Okay, I'm back on O'Connell Street next to the Spire. Enjoyed looking at this all the week while I've been here. I just popped in Burger King for me grub. You can actually get a super-size Burger King meal over here, so a little taste of America, that. It's one of the many sightseeing buses around Dublin, which I didn't really get a chance to go on this time. You'll find a lot of these buses around Ireland and Northern Ireland are actually Wright buses with a Wright bus. I think they get built in Northern Ireland actually, maybe Antrim, I think. This is probably the most populous area of the whole city. The main centre, the shopping street, got Henry Street up that way, Grafton Street on the south side of the Liffey, and this is the northbound Lewis line. Haven't actually done the northbound line so far. I might actually head eastwards on the red line past Connolly Station. It is starting to get red hot out here, at least hitting the high 20s. And when I go back to the UK, the heat wave is even bigger. It's getting up to 30 degrees where I live. Tomorrow it's going to be up to 36 in the northeast, and down in London 42 degrees Celsius. That's after I film this. I think that's going to be the hottest the UK has ever had. Ireland here is going to get some record-breaking temperatures, I think, as well. That's the air coach over there. That's actually what I get up to Dublin Airport. I'm having a walk on Henry Street, just went in the Irish Primark Pennies, and what you'd noticed in the picture, I actually had an ice cream. Yes, ice cream in a Primark / Pennies. You can't get that in the UK, but you can over here in Ireland, and a Snicker Block of Glory, that's what I had, and actually it was really, really nice. Blue skies appearing, as you can see the spire going up into the air. If I follow this way across O'Connell Street, will take us back to my hostel. While the red line of the Lewis, both of them don't actually join together, but the red line actually connects both Heuston and Connolly stations. The blue one is what goes up O'Connell Street. or the northbound, and then the southbound goes down the other one.
George's Dock. Heuston. Next stop, Spencer Dock. Vchjet stadele, Buga Spencer. Spencer Dock. Buga Spencer. Next stop, The Point. Vchjet stadele, Eastern Arena.
This is the Point, the most easterly terminus of the Lewis tram, and sounds like a fire alarm has just gone off in the building on the right. It's my last look at the River Liffey of the holiday. Over there is Beckett's Bridge. This is the Grand Canal Dock. Somewhere over there is the railway line that runs from just outside of Heuston Station underneath, and then passes Connolly Station. In the background over there is the Aviva Stadium. That's home of the Irish rugby union team, also the Irish football team, and the FA Island as well. So they can host many events in that stadium. That was actually meant to be one of the stadiums used in the Euro, originally Euro 2020, when it was meant to be 2020. Got postponed for a year, but because they couldn't guarantee fans back in the stadium last year, therefore Dublin had to be cut off. And here is Dublin Port. So if I brought the car, this is where I'll probably end up at if I drove to, say, Holyhead or even Liverpool, for example. And up there, that's the Point campus, where the Lewis line terminates. I've enjoyed my days coming down here onto the Liffey to soak in take in the atmosphere and the sights and sounds and all that. Dublin has been fantastic. Right, drop your case. This is where my journey back to England now begins. It's near O'Connell Street, and that's where I get the coach back up to Dublin Airport. When I walked along this street with my case, it was absolute dead quiet, because it was like nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Now the airport's busy. So these will be the last times I see the spire. I need to go down to the spire, turn right, and opposite the Grissom Hotel is where I get my coach. So just at the top of O'Connell Street is where I get the coach, the number 700, that just goes up to the airport. And this will be interesting in the next few hours because, as we know, Dublin Airport has also had chaos with check-in delays and security problems like what Manchester has. So this will be interesting. Heading home. Got some buses here. It's the 40 going to Charleston, 46 at Phoenix Park. As I said, most of these buses are all made by Wright Bus. Here's the coach, just down there. I say goodbye to Dublin. It's been a wonderful time. Drumcondra area. the Irish M1, which in the Northern Ireland turns into, I think also the A1. There's also an N. They have actually motorways with N numbers as well.
Do you think that, yeah, they're all going to be same as the Euro?
And here we are back at Dublin Airport. Next time I see you, I'll see you when I'm on the plane. And here I am in Dublin Airport. My gate is 111, and it looks like that one coming in there, Ryanair, that's going to be ours at 20:55. All that down there is the Wicklow Mountains. Could be the Dublin Mountains maybe. And the temperature where I'm going is actually 30 degrees. It's going to be red hot when I get back. Dublin Airport has two terminals. Terminal 1, this one, is where you go for like Ryanair flights, and the other one, Terminal 2, is where you go for Aer Lingus flights and also British Airways. You can actually do USA pre-clearance here as well, one of the few in the world. So you'll go through immigration, border check and all that here, and then when you get to America, you just go through arrivals. So yeah, that looks like that one could be ours, and it should be running on time. Boeing 737-800 to Newcastle, due there about, well, the flight time is about an hour, so there's another Ryanair over there.
Maybe see to the F-16 and 17. Any pickable assistance, please contact any of the cabin crew member. Once again, flight is absolutely fully booked. We kindly ask you, please check your allocated seat, comply with the safety and balance rules. And we traveling the aircraft, so please keep your seatbelt unfastened. Thank you.
And route up over Liverpool and down into Newcastle. Temperature up there is just a little bit warmer than it is here, around 25, 26 degrees. Just a light breeze coming in from the southwest. Flight time today is in the region of about 45 minutes, from there it should be. And so shortly the cabin crew are going to be giving you a safety demonstration. This is for your safety, so please give me your full attention. After that, please sit back, relax and enjoy the flight. Welcome on board.
Well, just as I expected, there was going to be a little delay. 21:06 and we still haven't left yet. Should have left about 11 minutes ago. Thankfully, when I get home, I'm actually getting picked up.
In a few moments, I'd like to ask for your complete attention while the cabin crew point out the safety features on board this Boeing 737-800 series aircraft. Please move your headphones for the duration of this demonstration. Thank you.
May we have your complete attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. These features may differ from aircraft that you have flown on before. Please remove headphones for this demonstration. All emergency exits are indicated by a red exit sign, and the floor path markings will guide you to the nearest exit in an emergency. The exits are located on both sides of the aircraft, at the front, in the middle, and at the rear of the cabin. All exits are also shown on the safety card. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an emergency evacuation, you must leave all your hand baggage behind. To fasten a seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle and secure by pulling the loose end. To open a seatbelt, lift the buckle cover. In case of a loss of cabin pressure, masks like this will drop automatically from the panels above your heads. Remain seated and pull down firmly on the mask to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, secure with the strap, and breathe normally. Don't worry if the bag does not inflate. Oxygen is flowing. Fit your own mask first before helping anyone else. The life jackets are stowed in a pocket beneath your seat or in the panel above your head. If it's needed, remove the jacket from its packet and place it over your head. Bring the strap around your waist, clip at the front, and secure as shown. To inflate the life jacket, pull down sharply on the red toggle. There is a mouthpiece for further inflation or deflation and a light to attract attention. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft. Before takeoff, please study the safety card located within the area you are seated, as it includes important safety information specific to this aircraft type. It is essential that cabin signs and instructions given by the crew are followed. We would like to remind you that smoking is not permitted anywhere on board. Your handbag.
This is a clean window, but the other one is white. Right. So it's goodbye to Ireland.
Regulation, we're going to get the cabin lights once again for takeoff and for landing. If you wish to continue reading the routine light in the panel just above your head, if you press by mistake, press again to reset it. This is not our procedure. We provide one. Only flying hours of darkness. Thank you.
down there, that's the national carrier of Ireland. Dublin down there. That's where I'm. get to see all of it because it was pitch dark when I came the other way last week. Valley Metro Centre down there.
Thank you.
I'm really home, and there's the time. touchdown and that. Anyway, nevertheless, back in jolly old England.
Newcastle. Local time is approaching 25 minutes past 10. Please remain seated with your seatbelt security fastened until the aircraft has come to complete stop. The captain has switched off the fasten seatbelts are to you. Please take care when you're opening overhead lockers. Those items may fall down and cause injury. For those of you that smoke, we ask you to please refrain from doing so to reach the smoking area outside of the terminal building. On behalf of your captain, first officer, especially onboard crew, we'd like to thank you for choosing to buy this evening. We do apologise for this delay on your arrival into Newcastle and for the inconvenience caused to all of you. We do wish you all a very safe onward journey. Once again, from all of us on board, thank you and good night.
And the reason why I was delayed was because it was late leaving Gatwick before getting to Dublin. This diary tomorrow night. Right, back home now, jolly old England. My bed for a change, not a pod, not a hostel, but more about that in a bit. I've also gone from one heat wave to another. As I speak, now here in Chester Street, it's 23 degrees Celsius outside, but today it got up here as high as 35 degrees Celsius, and I've actually been back to work in that weather. One of the best things though with the job I do is working in frozen food, so I get to work in temperatures at the other extreme, minus 20. Also, as I speak, today, the day of filming this, it got to 41, recorded at London Heathrow Airport. That's the hottest temperature the UK has ever seen. So I have the fan on and everything to keep me cool tonight. Anyway, now the holiday. It was my first ever trip to the Republic of Ireland. Out of all the places I've been to, that's one country I'd never ever been to before, and it was one of my dreams to go there, and finally I've done that. And what a fabulous holiday it was. I've got quite a bit to go through Started here in Chester Street. Firstly, the train going up to Newcastle in the evening was actually running late. There'd been crew shortages, there'd also been signalling problems on the East Coast main line. There were no trains going up to Edinburgh at the time because there was overhead wire problems. But at least I got up no problem, apart from just being a bit late. And then to get round to Newcastle Airport, I went on the Tyne-Away Metro from Central Station up to the airport. It's about 20-something minute ride. You can also get the bus. I think it's the X78. It's the one that goes from Newcastle to Diaries Hall. That takes you up to Newcastle Airport. Now, this had been my first time flying since 2019. Obviously, the COVID pandemic came about, and the ever-changing restrictions, whether it's masks or which countries you can and can't fly to, kept coming and going through 2020 and 21. But at least with Ireland, everything was back to normal, and I thought it'd be a perfect holiday, even for episode 100 of my diaries as well. Now also, as you know, there's been problems at airports, whether it's check-in or security, long queues, people trying to get through, and some people even missing flights because of all that, and even bags being left and all that. Well, thankfully with me there was none of that, because when I got to Newcastle Airport it was quite quiet. There was only a few more flights that even to go out, and my flight to Dublin was the last one out. Was on Ryanair. We were due to leave at 22:25, but we were 20 minutes late leaving. The plane was late dead because the plane had to come from Dublin to Newcastle before heading back to the Irish capital. Got through check-in and all that, no problems, so yeah, it was quite quiet. Got over to Dublin Airport, and how I got, it was about 50-minute plane ride, and how you get into the city is I got the air coach. There's also buses and the Dublin Express that takes you down to different, you can go to like Galway and Cork, even to Belfast from Dublin Airport. So got off in the city at about nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and then walked along to my hostel. My hostel was Jacob's Inn Hostel, just near down the corner from Connolly Station. Actually, for me this was an experience. The first time I stopped in a hostel, and the first time I stopped in a mixed dormitory. Yeah, mixed dormitory, so both male and female. The advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons. The pros are you get to meet different people, you get chatting to a few people as well. They can generally be a lot cheaper than hotels as well. But the cons is that you are sharing with others, so maybe a little bit lack of the privacy side. And sleeping in one of those pods, it got really hot indeed. Just like what it is now, if I'm honest. The reason why I went into that hostel, because the hotel I was meant to go in had shut everyone out a month before I was due to go for other reasons. So that was me hostel. I'm going to keep saying hotel, I don't know why. Me hostel all sorted. There were places you could easily store your bags and all that. So all in all, for my first hostel experience, I think it was good, but I do prefer hotels. Anyway, that's me sleeping accommodation all reviewed. So, my first ever time in Ireland, I did lots of sightseeing through the week. Did the sightseeing cruise, did the Guinness Storehouse. That's a must go to attraction, so you learn all about Guinness, like it's brewed there at St James's Gate. You learn about the history, how it's made and all that. Dublin Castle, that was alright. So I went to see like O'Connell Street, the Spire. Look around the nightlife, especially around the Temple Bar area, was phenomenal. This is like proper Irish nightlife, not just going to like some Irish inspired pub here in the UK. This was the real deal. The real deal indeed. And as you know, I'm the life of the party, and I do like to go for like nightlife and stuff and all that when I'm on my holidays. So when I'm not doing trains or sightseeing, that's where I go to. I like to go to the pubs and see what they're like. So, but quite pricey for like drinks and that. 6 or 7 euro for a pint of Guinness. So did all that. Lovely walks along the River Liffey. Now onto and also did the Lewis tram system as well. Well, I did only a bit of the Red Line, like as far as the point to Heuston. Went on the 2 main shopping streets, Henry Street, Grafton Street. So to the trains. My first ever Irish Rail train experience actually was really good. Connolly Station, staff were lovely. I actually asked to the barrier and they were alright, let us on. with Irish rail stations, you do actually have to have a ticket to get on them. They don't do platform tickets or visitor badges, so you do have to have a ticket to get on them. What I should have gotten was actually what was called a leap card, a bit like a smart card. It would have enabled us like to put tickets and that onto it. If I'd known beforehand, it would have probably saved me on buying all the individual tickets that I got. So I like the Irish rail trains, a bit different than ours, not as much variety, but the fares were also a lot cheaper as well. Some comparisons with the trains, like their style Mark 4s are a lot different than our Mark 4 trains, but they're diesel locomotives. They were very similar to Class City 6s and City 7s. They operated on the services to Cork from Heuston and to Belfast from Connolly. Didn't get any freight apart from one at Athlone. I'll come back to that in a bit. But yeah, I'd like to say the Dart trains as well as the commuter and intercity. But yeah, I was actually quite impressed with what I saw. One of the commuter trains looked similar to 166s and 165s. Heuston Station. Now, I went one day on the Friday, asked the barrier and got refused. And he sounded a bit firm but fair. But yesterday on the Monday, I went back, got myself a cheap return to the next station down, and once on the platform they were much friendlier, much nicer staff. But Heuston Station, I needed 2 hours to get a decent bit of footage because there were some gaps between trains. But at least I was happy I got the main 2 terminals done. I just did Pierce Station as I went through. So all in all, my experience, Irish Rail, I thought was quite good. Also did rides up to Galway. Galway I thought was a nice resort with, I think it was called Salt Hill, along the coast, along the line. That was the closest I got to the Atlantic coast as well. Also visited the nice town of Bray, nice resort as well. Did Balbriggan, Malahide. Yeah, did those places. Oh, even a spot and session, Adamstown Station, I thought was good for high speed action, indeed. So would I go on Irish rail trains? Yes, but the network is nowhere near as big as what ours is. There isn't. Most of the lines are centred out of Dublin, but not many of them actually run to the west. You've got the line going south down towards like Cork and Trawley and like Waterford and all that, and then lines going to Sligo and Galway, but not really like many other lines like what we have where they branch off all over the place. So Irish Rail in Dublin was brilliant. Now also on the Thursday I did the Enterprise train and went up into Northern Ireland, so I actually went back into the UK on the Thursday, and I thought that was a good day indeed. Northern Ireland Railways were actually, again, they were good. Asked at the barrier, they just said obviously just be careful and all that, but yeah, in Northern Ireland there's actually only 2 classes of train, both of similar type, and of course you get the Enterprise from Dublin. So, and actually there's actually no freight whatsoever in Northern Ireland, but that didn't really bother me. Maybe on another holiday I might go to Belfast and do like the lines up to Ballymoney and Londonderry, Derry and that. Belfast I thought was a lovely city. Looked around, went to the Titanic experience, and that is another must visit attraction. That you see all the yellow cranes where the Harland and Wolff company where they built the ships and that. They're pretty much now an iconic feature of Belfast's skyline. And between the two countries, I've noticed a lot of differences. Obviously, Northern Ireland is the UK, so everything I can do here in the UK is the same over there. Whether it's using the British pound, using me not like normal bank card, using like my normal mobile phone network, or even my Tesco club card and Iceland staff discount card. All that can be done in Northern Ireland, but in the Republic is where everything all changes. Speed limits are in kilometres per hour down there. You also have to, so if you're going from the UK to Ireland, you also have to switch to data roaming for your mobile phone, so you might get some charges for doing that. It's like if you were going to France or Spain and that, because technically Ireland is actually part of Europe. I couldn't actually use my club card or staff discount card or anything, because again it's all different down there. Different traffic lights as well. They don't, when the green man comes on, it goes. We don't have any of that here. Also, if you're a bus enthusiast, both ROI and NI are full of right buses, because they're built up in, I think it's could be Antrim or Omagh, somewhere up in Northern Ireland, and there was lots and lots of them throughout the country. So if you're a bus enthusiast and you like right buses, well, I actually do as well, yeah. I like Pulsar 2s and Geminis and Street Decks and that. Streetlight buses is what runs through my estate here. And it's a lovely ride on the Enterprise train. Runs every 2 hours, and the journey is also 2 hours as well. From Dublin up to Belfast and either way. So you get some lovely stunning Irish countryside. From Belfast you go through Lisbon, like the suburbs, Lisbon, and towards Portadown, Newry, then into the Republic with Dundalk, then Drogheda, and then down through the likes of Balbriggan and Skerries, Russian Lusk, Portmarnock, Malahide, and then that's where the Dart network begins at Malahide, and then you're on electrified lines into Dublin. The Dart is actually the only electrified network in the whole of the country. So I've had an absolutely smashing time in the Republic of Ireland. Northern Ireland was brilliant, and I would go back again, absolutely. And I would recommend you go as well. And coming back, no problems getting to Dublin Airport, and check-in was just like flawless, just like that, straight through. And it didn't, in security it was literally a few minutes as well. I had read about the reports of Dublin Airport being chock-a-block, but there was no sign of that this time. It's a big airport, 2 terminals, but my flight was only 25 minutes late leaving, coming back, because it came from Gatwick Airport late, and then obviously it's got to unload and then reload, refuel and all that. Back to Newcastle, 50-minute ride, and I got a lift home from the airport. Well, thank you very much for watching this and all of my Irish holiday. It was a good 100th Dodds Diary episode for me to do, and as I speak, not long till my next holiday, which comes in September the 9th actually, and I'm going to show you on my phone. Now, what will also be different about this holiday, there'll be no trains whatsoever involved with this. No, not a single thing on rails this time. But then again, any Dodds Diary could be like that, a diary without rails, because where I'm going to next is that. Crete, 52 days time. I'm going to Malia, so that'll be 100, probably episode 101, and that holiday will be all about checking out the sight and sound of Greece, the ancient history, the beaches and all that. You might see some like bus footage, but as for transport, that's about as much as what I'll probably do. Just go on, see the buses and that. But that's not what I'm going to Greece for. I'm going to be going for sightseeing and just chillaxing on the beach. Well, thank you for watching this, and I will see you in my next video diary. Good night.